David Parton, the older brother of music icon Dolly Parton, has passed away at the age of 82. The somber news was shared by their sister Stella Parton in a heartfelt social media post early Friday morning, November 15th. It was clear from Stella's message that David was deeply loved by his family, and his death marked another painful chapter in the Parton family's ongoing journey of grief and healing. Stella, who has always been a source of support for Dolly and the rest of their siblings, took to social media with a post that captured the sadness of the moment. "My brother David passed away peacefully this morning," she wrote on X at 5:54 a.m., expressing a sentiment that resonated deeply with those who followed the Parton family over the years. "It's never easy to say goodbye to a loved one, but he got his angel wings and is now at peace." The beauty and simplicity of Stella's message reflected not only her sorrow but also her faith and the deep sense of love that permeated the Parton household. For many, David's passing may have come as a surprise. Though Dolly Parton's name is known around the world and her siblings, many of whom are also accomplished artists, have made their own marks on the world, David led a much quieter life. He was a man who valued his privacy, far from the spotlight that often shines so brightly on his famous family members. It was this humility that endeared him to those who knew him well, and it was also the reason why his death seemed to impact many in a deeply personal way. He was a figure who, while not often in the public eye, left behind an indelible mark on the people around him. This mark was not made through fame or recognition but through his kindness, his work ethic, and his dedication to his family. David Wilburn Parton was born to Robert and Avi Lee Parton in the mountains of Sevier County, Tennessee. He was one of 12 children in the Parton family, a family celebrated not only for its musical legacy but also for its resilience and close-knit bond. Growing up in the rural heart of the Smoky Mountains, the Parton siblings lived a life marked by simplicity and struggle, yet also by a profound sense of love and community. Their parents, Robert and Avi Lee, worked hard to provide for their family, with their father working as a tobacco farmer. Partons, despite the hardships they faced, created a home built on faith, perseverance, and family values. These were the traits that would continue to define the Parton family for generations to come. In birth order, the Parton children were Willadine, David Wilburn, Coy Denver, Dolly Rebecca, Bobby Lee, Stella Mae, Cassie Nan, Randall Houston Randy, Larry Gerald, twins Estelle Floyd and Frida Estelle and Rachel Ann. This sprawling family of 12 children grew up in a one-room cabin in Locust Ridge, Tennessee. Their cabin may have been small, but the love inside it was immense. Dolly often talks about the extreme poverty they endured during their early years, yet it was also during these formative years that their shared experiences created an unbreakable bond between the siblings. Growing up in a modest cabin with a dirt floor and limited resources, the Parton children learned to share everything, from their time to their food, and they learned to depend on one another for support. It was a tight-knit family where everyone had a role to play and everyone's contributions, no matter how small, were valued. Partons lived without the luxuries of modern life, but they had something more valuable: each other. David, like his siblings, learned the value of hard work and self-reliance. As he grew older, David chose to follow a career outside of the limelight. While Dolly's fame soared to international heights, David was content with a life that was grounded in his community. He retired from Simpson Construction as a bridge builder superintendent, a position he held for many years. He worked on numerous bridges in the Kingsport, Johnson City, and Knoxville areas, leaving a legacy that was less visible but still significant. To the people who knew him in those communities, David's work was a reflection of his dedication to his craft and his pride in contributing to the infrastructure of the places he called home. His professional life, although not as glamorous as the entertainment careers of some of his siblings, was rooted in a deep sense of purpose. In addition to his work, David had a long and happy marriage to his wife, Kay Parton, with whom he shared 45 years of love and partnership. Their marriage, a testament to the enduring power of love, was something David treasured deeply. While Dolly's own life has been filled with public milestones, David's life was one of quiet devotion to his family and community. He found fulfillment in the small moments, those shared with Kay, with his siblings, and with friends who respected him for the man he was. His passing leaves a profound emptiness in the hearts of those who loved him. In the wake of his death, his family has expressed their grief publicly but also their gratitude for the years they shared with him. Though he lived a private life, David's impact was immeasurable, and his loss is deeply felt by all who knew him. David's passing also marks another chapter in the story of the Parton family's resilience in the face of loss. His death is the fourth loss of a brother in the family's history, and each loss has brought its own wave of sorrow. The youngest sibling, Larry, tragically passed shortly after birth in 1955, a loss that, though long ago, still casts a shadow over the family. Floyd, another brother who was known for his songwriting abilities, passed away in 2018 at the age of 61. His death was particularly hard for Dolly, who often spoke of the bond they shared through music. She was deeply affected by Floyd's passing, yet her faith and the knowledge that he was in a better place helped her find comfort. Randy, another sibling who was a performer in his own right, died of cancer in 2021 at the age of 67. Randy's passing was another difficult moment for Dolly, who publicly mourned the loss of her brother. In her tribute to him, Dolly spoke of her grief but also of the peace she found in knowing that Randy was now in the presence of loved ones who had gone before him. She wrote, "We are a family of faith, and we believe that he is safe with God and that he is joined by members of the family that have gone on before and have welcomed him with joy and open arms." Despite the heartache, the Parton family continues to hold tight to their faith and their love for one another. Dolly has been a beacon of strength throughout these painful times, but she is not alone in her grief. Each sibling, while navigating their own emotions, continues to find strength in the shared love and memories they have of their family. David's death, while bringing deep sadness, also serves as a reminder of the importance of family and the bonds that hold them together, even in the darkest of times. Parton family's story is one of perseverance, faith, and love. David Parton, though not as well known as his famous sister, contributed greatly to the legacy of the Parton family. His quiet dignity, his work ethic, and his love for his family were qualities that made him a beloved figure among those who knew him. His passing, though sorrowful, is a moment of reflection for the Parton family, who, despite the many challenges they have faced, continue to support each other through the trials of life. As the family continues to mourn David's loss, they will undoubtedly reflect on the joy he brought to their lives. His life may not have been lived in the public eye, but it was a life well lived. He was a devoted husband, a proud brother, and a cherished member of his community. As his family members process their grief, they will also celebrate the life that David lived, the simple, beautiful life that he was able to build away from the spotlight. His legacy will live on in the memories of those who loved him, and his family will continue to honor his life by carrying forward the values he cherished. David Parton may have passed on, but the love and memories he leaves behind will never fade. In the coming days, weeks, and months, the Parton family will continue to cope with their grief. They will share stories of David, remember the quiet moments they spent with him, and find comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace. For Dolly, Stella, and the rest of the Parton family, David's passing is not the end of his story. It is, instead, the beginning of a new chapter, one where his memory will live on in the hearts of all who loved him.